Hey friends, a little different video today. Today I'm going to talk about hardcore WoW, some rumors coming out of the streaming community, the current state of the game, and most of all, will there be a hardcore WoW fresh server? So, quick intro, my name is Jeff. I'm a 20-year WoW player and a 3+ year hardcore player. I play Mage currently on Defias Pillager in HC Elite, and don't be too impressed by that. I'm like the lowest tier raider on the teams that I'm on, but I have a pretty good understanding of the game, and I'm here to give you that sort of boomer, dad gamer, keyboard turner perspective on all this. So, for months now, there's been a planned move of prominent WoW streamers who would start a guild called Onlyfangs on Hardcore WoW in October. And their goal is to start fresh and clear BWL. And several streamers have mentioned how they're looking forward to returning to hardcore. And by the way, if you don't know, the current hardcore servers are definitely going off right now. The population is steadily increasing. There's a lot of activity levels, a lot of activity at all levels. The death log announcements are popping up. There's a lot of good new death clips for those enjoyers. It's a good time for hardcore WoW in general. It's a great time to join if you've never played it and wanted to give it a try, and it's a good time to come back if you're getting tired of SOD or retail or Kata. So anyway, Soda Poppin', love him or hate him, is taking the lead here and putting together this new hardcore streamer guild. And by the way, I hate to say it, I probably fall into the more of the latter side of that spectrum. I don't dislike him as a person at all. I have a lot of appreciation for him and these other younger content creators that are driving interest in the game that I've played for so long. But personally, I was a big fan of the GDKP rating system in Classic WoW. I think it's the best loot system. And I sort of blame Soda for getting that system banned from Season of Discovery by publicly buying gold and putting Blizzard in a weird position where, they're not going to follow their own TOS and ban him. So instead, they create this facade that they're doing something and they remove a loot system that by association seemed to be an incentive for people to buy gold. And anyway, I'm letting my grumpy old get off my lawn attitude kick in a bit. But Soda is taking the lead here, and streamers like maybe Guzu and Zico and Jokered and Omphie and others might join this guild and start playing hardcore WoW in October. And he's talked periodically about how he wants it to be a fresh leveling experience. I think he's mentioned maybe a self-found or a limited trading situation, and even mentioned things like rules around hitting certain leveling requirements or gearing milestones, maybe world buff rules, requirements around finding their own crafting recipes rather than just buying them from the established economy, things like that. He's even talked about getting a good mix of streamers, like he's going to go for some of the best players and then add in a mix of people that don't know what's going on and might bring down the skill tier. So, it's sort of an odd thing that Soda is going to be leading this and main tanking, and then he's going to have players like Omphie as just a guild member. Like if you want to go full sweat, you could have Omphie raid lead and get this done quickly. So anyway, yesterday, Soda says this.
I'm going to read what I posted in the Onlyfangs Discord. Well, I'm just going to read what I wrote word for word. What I said at everyone, hey guys, I know we planned on doing Onlyfangs in October. However, good news and bad news. There is a very legitimate reason that we should start in November. I cannot get into details, but please trust me that this is 100% the best call for everyone. So that's what we're going to do. Can you even hear me? So that's it. I can't say anything else on that subject.
So since then, there's been good discussion on various Discords and Reddit around what the heck does that all mean, with a large sentiment saying it must mean fresh hardcore servers are coming in November. So that's possibility one. We have fresh hardcore servers. Fresh hardcore servers, possibility two might be fresh hardcore servers that are modified, maybe with, original phasing, for example, right? Our official hardcore servers opened up with all content up through Nax available on launch, but that authentic experience is to have only MC and Ani available at launch, and then you get these phased releases of BWL and ZG with AQ and the opening of the Gates events later, and finally Nax. So fresh hardcore servers with phasing would be an option. You could have fresh hardcore servers with some new rule set, right? Maybe a true solo self-found rule set or the add-on rule set from back in the Race to Rag days where we had only grouping for dungeons or dungeons only once per day, things like that. It could be something that's not exactly fresh, but still a Blizzard implemented change, right? There have been calls to merge the two hardcore servers, and it would be pretty easy to do that. They could merge the two hardcore servers now and then add some of those game modes similar to solo self-found and other restrictions. You could even have guild specific rules that are able to be turned on or off, something like this. So, November is also the 20th anniversary event, and it would make sense that Blizzard might do something related to WoW Classic. We keep hearing rumors about other expansions. I think this one's quite a long shot, but people have always been asking for a long time, will we ever see TBC hardcore, and how would that look? Would you truly level from 1 to 70? It's already very hard to get to 60, but could you do that, or would you start somewhere in between? How would that even work? I mean, you could imagine the death clips coming out of Hellfire Peninsula. On the other side of the coin, it might not be fresh servers or even something implemented by Blizzard at all. It could be something more logistical on the streamer side with streamer timing. It could be some sort of a setup issue on creating maybe an Onlyfangs specific add on that would create that self found or solo self found mode just for those streamers. Maybe a better way of tracking what consumable recipes they've unlocked and so on. Again, Soda has mentioned liking specific rules around leveling and gearing and crafting and consumables and all of that. So, my take finally, I don't think it will be or should be true new hardcore fresh servers. And I'll say why in a second. But if it's not fresh, then I do think you do have to do something special, some sort of guardrails for this new streamer guild. I mean, obviously, you can't have on day one, some big streamer log in and some 60 come up and trade them a stack of Petri flasks and 16 slot bags and 500 gold. The whole thing would be sort of marginalized. So I know that they're making plans and rules around the setup. So, like I said, I acknowledge that fresh servers have some benefits. Some of my most fun times in WoW have been logging in on the moment a fresh server starts and being in that crowded starting zone, seeing how far you can level on that first day, playing on a completely fresh server with no higher levels helping out, no auction house, no established economy, seeing when certain leveling milestones are met, when the content is first cleared, uh, consumables and gear are first obtained. It's a really, really fun experience. That said, hardcore fresh servers are a mistake, and here's why. The classic community is already just way too segmented between, era and classic cataclysm and season of discovery and hardcore, and some classic players have even returned to retail to try War Within, and even the hardcore community itself is split between two servers with a lot of calls to merge them. So if you have a fresh hardcore server, a bunch of players are going to jump over there to play alongside these streamers who will leave in 8 or 12 weeks, and then you'll be left with another semi-dead server, an even more scattered or disjointed set of players. So I hope they do not create yet another fresh hardcore server, and instead do something like I mentioned before, maybe a server merge with an additional mode that limits trading and gearing, but on our existing server with our existing community. So I'm very curious what people think. Should they add hardcore fresh servers or not? If you have an opinion, let me know in the comments. That's my opinion piece for today, folks. In addition to playing hardcore WoW, I enjoy digging into the Warcraft maps and the game files. If you like stuff like that and want to check out another video on my channel, please do so. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Cheers, folks.